Do these 3 things to make your homestead more efficient. First off is mulch. We've got all this mulch that a very generous neighbor gave us, this old hay, and I'm gonna throw it into the garden and show you how we use it. Here, sit right here. I'm gonna throw a bale in. All right, sit tight for a minute. We use mulch in all kinds of ways in the garden, mostly between our rows of plants. And not only does it keep the weeds down, but it also enriches the soil over years of use. This is our corn and bean patch here, and you can see the plants are still little. And in the next few days, we're gonna come back and mulch heavily between all the rows here. So I'll get started just on this end right now. I'm waiting for the plants to get up a little bit so I don't risk smothering them. Once they're up and established and several inches high, you can mulch right up around them and won't be an issue. I'm also going to mulch this whole raspberry bed between all the plants. And I've just been waiting for these plants to get up, and now that they're this big and they all look good, I can mulch around them here. And again, not worry about smothering them so much as before. I'll mulch right up against my fence there to keep the grass from coming through. Mulch also does a wonderful job with water retention. I'll just show you the difference here. This is an unmulched area, and this is very dry, even just a couple days after rain. But I come up to this area where we're using hay in our whole squash and pumpkin bed, and you can come down underneath the mulch here, and this all has had the same amount of rain and water, and you can find the soil down here is nice and moist underneath all this mulch. The next thing that we use to make our homestead more efficient is good fences. Now you might laugh if you've been following my channel, because you'll know my goats have gotten out over and over and over. But we do have some good fences. For example, this garden fence is 2x4 horse fencing, and this is done so well to keep little pests out of the garden, to keep big pests too, like the dog, and also it keeps chickens and ducks out of the garden. And then the majority of our pasture is surrounded by extremely good fencing, this tensioned 4x4 woven wire fence, and this stuff has proved basically impenetrable for goats, cows, large chickens, pigs. So good fences make your homestead more efficient. We've proven the inefficiency of bad fences in the past 2 weeks. The sections of fencing that we never completed our permanent fencing have wasted so much of our time. And that's why I'm out here this evening working late, trying to finish this last section of high tensile steel electric fencing. But I'm so looking forward to having this done so we can not worry about the goats. It'll be wonderful. Here you go. These cows drink a lot of water, and when I'm doing my morning chores, it occupies the hose. Sometimes if I'm filling it up, it'll occupy the hose for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and it slows down my morning chore routine. And plus it's just a bunch of water to run out of our water system. I've always kind of laughed at rain barrels in people's yards and made a joke of it, but it's really not a joke, especially if you're in an area where there's a water shortage. A roof like this will put off thousands of gallons of water with just a 1-inch rain. And so we found a way to collect rainwater that is completely simple, and it makes our chores a lot easier, makes your homestead more efficient. It's just one less thing we have to do when it's raining regularly. We're back outside after this tiny little rain, and this bathtub is almost topped off. We just used a really simple, direct method for catching this rainwater. It goes straight into this bathtub. And even though that rain was tiny, I mean the ground is still dry underneath trees, I won't have to give the cows water in the morning, and that's just a small efficiency that actually makes a pretty big difference in the morning with chores. Well, I hope you all enjoyed these 3 little things that can make your homestead more efficient. Well folks, it's been another great day on the homestead. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want one of these cool t-shirts, check out the link in the description. Bye bye.